In R, we can replicate elements using this function over here, okay, which takes two arguments. So the first argument is your existing vector or object. Then you specify if you want to replicate this element n times, or all the elements n times, or you can specify what elements you want to repeat how many times. So let's look at an example here. So the first one here is pretty straightforward. We want to replicate this integer 5 times, right? We don't specify anything. So we can run that and you can see we replicate this each time 5 times, okay? Again, remember when using this function, it doesn't matter if you're using an integer, numeric, logic, okay? It'll just work the same. So let's now use a character vector here. So we create our stats object. You can see here in the environment tab, see we've created an object of character type and has 3 elements from 1 to 3, okay? So here we use this argument. So first of all, the first element here, the first argument is our existing vector or object. Then when we specify each equals to 3, means we repeat this n times, meaning California will appear 3 times, Michigan 3 times, Florida 3 times. Let's execute that. And that's what we have. Now the difference is when we say times 3, that means so it will start by outputting California, Michigan, and we consider that 1 time, and then the second time 2 times, and so on and so forth. So when you see in the output, you can see the first replication is considered all the elements 1 time, second 2 times, and then thirdly we have all these elements replicated 3 times. What if we wanted to just select different elements here to replicate different times? We can use this C function times, and then we specify that the first element we replicate 2 times, the third element, second element we replicate 3 times, and the last element we replicate 1 time. So you can see here, California 2 times, right? Michigan 3 times, okay, and Florida 1 time. You can actually specify that again. You can say 2, you can say 1, you can change this maybe to 5 times just to see how it appears, okay? And then lastly here, suppose we wanted to replicate this vector 3, 4, 5 to a length or maybe 6 or 8. We can achieve that by using the rep function, right? Underscore length, right? So how do we do that? First of all, we create our vector, assign it to a variable x, create that, okay? Then we call this function, right? In fact, I can just delete this so you can just see how to do that. So we call that function, use the tab to pick it up. Then we specify our vector, then text to argument, comma. Then we specify the argument length, the out. Then we say we want to replicate that 6 times. We run that and you can see it stops at the 6th element, right? Regardless. So in fact, let me just add more here. Yeah, so it stops at 8. The moment it hits the maximum length here, it stops at 8 here. All right, and that's it on replicating elements in R.